Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Lakeside, where day 6 of the WDF World Darts Championship is upon us. Last night was unarguably the highlight of the week so far. Jimmy van Schie eschewed any potential debut nerves by whitewashing Bjorn Leon, averaging 99 in the process. Bo Greaves was too strong for Finland's Kirsi Vinnikainen, despite the latter being 2 darts away from producing history with a 9-darter. The evergreen Paul Lim overcame Kai Fan Leung in a 3-2 thriller before 2022 champion Neil Duff kicked off his campaign against Rhys Colley, showing real bottle in coming from behind. He will play the winner of our first game. It could be an all-Northern Irish tie with Barry Copeland, who's here by virtue of the Last Chance Saloon qualifier in Budapest. Though Aaron Turner will have something to say about that. The local boy can finally call himself a Lakeside winner after beating the USA's Jeff Springer Jr. in round 1. I'm Dan McCarthy. I'll be in the commentary box all day, as I have been all week, and I'm joined by my trusty colleague and WDF nerd, Andrew Sinclair. How are you doing, Andrew?
Good, yeah, looking forward to this afternoon. We've got 4 more seeds joining the fray this afternoon, and particularly looking forward to seeing this man here, the daddy, take to the stage for the first time.
First set, first leg, it's Aaron to throw first. Game on.
I was pleased to see Aaron get the win on Sunday against Jeff. Aaron is capable of more than he showed in that game. It was just a 78 average on that occasion, but I thought it was quite a mature performance from him and definitely an uptick on certainly 2023's effort when he lost to Ricky Nauman. So I think it will have done Aaron the world of good to pick up a win, but Barry a very different proposition as a former World Masters finalist and an experienced man who's been there, done it, and pretty much seen everything there is to see in this game.
140.
Yeah, he arrives as a seeded player once again, despite only coming through that last chance qualifier. Played some good darts in Budapest in order to get to this stage.
100.
6-4 win in the final round. And he seems to be in good spirits. He certainly saw the funny side of losing the bull up in the back room by a comparative distance, we'll say.
140.
Yeah, he was in good spirit when I saw him in the back room as well. Barry made some jokes about the latest one of my festive jumpers and how the slogan on it, while it amused him, might not have been the most appropriate for Barry's home environs back in Northern Ireland.
60. Barry, you require 164.
Strong start from both players. Treble 18.
98. Aaron, you require 76.
Double 8.
60. Barry, you require 66.
Double 18. Happy accident, double 14.
52. Aaron, you require 16.
Chasing it around the board there was Aaron Turner.
The scoring power has been very good from both players, but struggling on the doubles early on. Great throw for Barry.
Barry Copeland.
In 16 darts, he can be very pleased with that.
Barry to throw first. Game on.
I think Barry will be very keen to avoid a repeat of how he went last year against Johnny Tartar. Not just the result, Barry a 3-2 loser on that occasion, but I think the way that match came about and happened, I think, is something Barry will want to avoid. He was a slow starter in that one, dropped the first 2 sets going into the break, and then you really can't afford any margin for error after that. And yeah, did go all the way to a 5th set, but I think it was ultimately just too much for Barry to claw back in the end. But he's got the early break here, and that treble is a lovely find and puts him in a good position in this second leg.
not been a great year for Barry. Hasn't reached a single quarter-final this year. So that's why he's seeding as tumbled. He was the number 8 seed last year.
60.
Yeah, he played a lot less on the WDF circuit this year, Barry. Got married. I can't remember if it was earlier this year or late last year, but yeah, he had a reduced playing schedule this year, Barry, and really put all of his efforts into that World Masters weekend in Budapest, where played some very good stuff. Had match darts in successive legs, actually, to beat Wesley Plaisir. They had a rematch of their 2022 World Masters final, and yeah, didn't work out in the end for Barry. Missed those chances, but you know, one of those things.
100. Barry requiring 158. 98. 81. Barry requires 60.
Much slower leg from Aaron Turner in leg 1. Barry backs up the break with a hold of throw in 18.
Third leg, it's Aaron to throw first.
Reduced playing schedule for him this year, but he's also dabbled in the Modus Super Series. There's the daddy, who normally wears the claret and blue colours of his beloved West Ham. He's gone for a more sleeker black number today.
Perhaps in response to their disappointing defeat last night against Leicester City, where they were beaten 3-1.
41.
But yeah, if he wins this one, Barry, it will be his compatriot, close friend and international teammate Neil Duff. Which, when I spoke to Neil about that prospect last night, Neil said to me, yeah, me against Barry, worth the price of admission alone for the fireworks on that stage, because you've seen Barry, he's already given some big celebrations for the first 2 legs in this one, and yeah, some hearty roars from Neil last night in that incredibly impressive comeback victory against young Rhys Colley.
Was a superb comeback.
121.
Neil winning the last 5 legs on the bounce, showing why he's been a champion on this stage before.
100.
Barry's an incredibly experienced campaigner. I think the first World Masters Barry played in was back in 2010, so he's been playing for a long time. Has always been a very dangerous player, and I remember him at the Irish Open a few years ago as an unseeded player, making a very deep run through the competition.
100.
Remember who he lost the final to?
Oh, I was there, and I can't remember, which is not great.
He's quite famous.
Oh, yes. Yes, young Luke Littler, when he became the youngest ever winner on the WDF circuit when he was just 14 years of age. I actually interviewed him that day, which I think might be one of his first recorded interviews. A lot more nervous then than he probably is now.
75. Aaron, you require 40.
These doubles haven't been kind to Aaron.
30.
And he still hasn't found one.
Barry, you require 45.
So a 2-darter for Barry for the opening set.
All too comfortable for Barry Copeland.
Second set, first leg, it's Barry to throw first.
Rock solid so far, averaging 88.41, which means he's averaging 17 darters.
58. 45.
First of 4 games we've got today. Wajer takes on Paula Murphy in the women's competition next up. Before we have our German representative in the men's, Mandel Lawrence, against another Belgian who's looking to make an impact in Heiles. Before a USA debutant, Jason Brandon, takes on Schneir of Austria.
Yep, number of interesting and on paper very close games this afternoon. Particularly looking forward to seeing Jason make his first appearance on this stage. Very capable player. He's the man from Tennessee. Loves his fishing, loves his country music, and loves his darts as well. Played some fantastic stuff at the World Masters in Budapest, and I think he could make a real impact at these championships. Looking to be the first American man to win after we saw Kevin Luke drop out, and of course Jeff Springer fell against, and you see on your screen now, Hazza, Aaron Turner, who
28.
had chances in 2 legs of that first set, but firmly under the cosh now. Barry looking to make it 4 legs on the spin.
145.
Terrific setup, and Aaron's definitely lost his range after what was a promising start.
44. Barrier requires 36.
Mistake he can afford to make. This has been ropey to say the least from Aaron. Barry opting to go straight at double 9. Down for double 2.
16.
Ended up splitting it there, and well, he's not under any real pressure yet, but double 1 isn't nice for anyone.
123. Barrier required 2.
Some pressure applied now.
Charter the first leg.
Barry Copeland makes double 1 look easy. Normally you see a tentative first start, one that lacks aggression. That was straight in, it was pinpoint.
I don't think Barry's capable of doing anything tentatively. He's a very fiery and aggressive character, but somewhat a very entertaining person to be around. Always has good support, and was nice to see him back in the Northern Ireland team this year. Played at the Europe Cup, although admittedly he did get some horrible draws. Of course, the Europe Cup and WDF World Cup unseeded, and yeah, he was Northern Ireland too, and he got drawn against one of the Dutch representatives, and his first game was against Alexander Merckx. So ended up being a cracking game, and Barry lost 4-3. So played very well, but yeah, it was an early exit for the daddy, but showed signs of that form that he then went on to display in Budapest, and yeah, very well, a great 96 finish to beat David Warszewski in the final round of that qualifier, but will always be etched in my mind because of the celebration, which admittedly I can't recreate on here, not just because of my woeful attempt at the Northern Ireland accent, but also because of the exact specifics of what Barry said, but you know, I'll leave it to the imagination, but it involved his nickname anyway.
81.
And a question about
yes.
who the daddy may be, yes.
Yes.
It's a better visit from Aaron there, but there is that idiosyncrasy to his throw where he does seem to sort of push forward with the dart, and you see that his rear arm does tend to buck up a little bit, not quite
60.
in the same manner people would have seen Desi Mercer yesterday, but there is that awkwardness to Aaron's throw, and I sometimes feel it means he does lose a little bit of control over his action.
44.
I'm not really sure what the origin of it is. Could just be one of those habits that players pick up.
You see a similar prod from Barry, but then he
100.
Little message for the crowd there, Mr. Copeland.
41. Barry, you require 75.
double top.
35. Aaron, you require 122. 82.
Too many loose darts, too many trebleless visits. It's not a good combination.
In charge in the second leg.
It's worked out well for Barry.
Third leg is Barry to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, are in some way below the standard he displayed against Jeff, and I do wonder whether those missed doubles right at the start of the game have lingered in his mind a little. He had, I think it was 6 chances in that first leg.
100.
I don't think Barry will mind the noise now. Cheering for him, first maximum.
100.
En route to a 6th straight leg and a 2-set lead.
Yeah, he's a very, very, very capable player, Barry. Someone I enjoy watching.
85. Barry, you require 121.
Double 18. Terrific combination shot from Barry Copeland.
Barry Copeland.
And he is dominating this second round lakeside contest. Aaron Turner missed 5 darts double in the very first leg, and seemingly he has not recovered. It has been solid, and it ended with a 12 darter at the break. It is Barry Copeland.
The Toto Dutch.
Real pressure, really. The only leg where he was the one that he ended up finishing on double 1, and that was because he ended up having to chase the doubles a little bit around the board.
60.
An opening gambit of 45 isn't exactly promising.
135.
That's much better.
Well, successive triple-less visits from Barry to open up his first leg after the break. Do you think Aaron here will be looking to try and get himself on the board?
125.
Back-to-back 2 treble visits. Aaron knows he's got the advantage of throw in this 3rd set by winning the bullseye in the back room.
58.
Well, a maximum would bring Barry down to a finish.
Right on cue.
And he will now get a chance at that 161.
RE require 161.
Won't go, but for how poorly Aaron has played on the outer ring, 76 is no gimme.
76.
No, we'll only get one shot at a double.
56. RE require 116.
He's looking to drop down their barrier and find the treble, but ends up going the other side of the dart already in the bed.
56.
Not sure if he caught wind of a phone ringing there. May have put him off. Aaron Turner finally registers a leg.
Second leg if Murray to throw first.
Yeah, still some loose darts there from Aaron, but he was able to correct. You know, he was finding a treble, and then there was a loose one, and he was able to pull himself back straight. Just there is a slight tendency to push the dart from Aaron, which can be a worry, but this looks more promising.
100.
Aaron was one of the English contingent that made the trip over to Las Vegas at the start of this year for the Gold Las Vegas Open. Actually got all the way to the quarters, Aaron, so had a good run. But ends up with an all-Canadian final, so looking forward to that one being back on the calendar for January. And I'm led to believe Aaron is going again, having spoken to his wife Laura the other day. He's all set, ready to go to Vegas, along with James Beaton, who we saw in action yesterday afternoon.
57.
I think did himself real credit this year, James. Last man into the field, but beat Bradley and gave a really good account of himself yesterday against an experienced campaigner in Thomas Younghans.
Yeah, the 180 hitting was superb from James Beaton.
Are you require 120?
Wrong side of the wire.
Aaron, you require 149.
It's a big ask.
95. You require 63.
Can be an awkward little finish, 63. Only one dart he had at tops.
You require 54.
Just in the 14th.
Nearly a little tumble there from Aaron as he moved across the oche.
44. You require 20. No score.
Instantly made the choice to bust. Double 5 landed. Aaron Turner with a break of throw, and suddenly he's got something to cling on to.
It's Aaron to throw first.
Yeah, that was the first leg where we've seen any real form of frustration from Barry Copeland. Last start to bust at 20, very much thrown in anger.
140.
does appear that that time on stage has done Aaron some good in this set. Not an enormous improvement in terms of his average, but scoring's been a little bit more consistent, which has given him more chances than he was getting, particularly in that second set.
125.
Not happy with not filling it up, but much more promise from Aaron Turner.
100.
He's going to get 6 darts to take out 153.
153. 41.
A slack visit there gives Barry a chance. Needs to be 2 trebles to put real pressure on.
100. Aaron, you require 112.
I think that's a big part of Barry's game. He throws an awful lot of steady tons, just keeps chipping away, keeps putting the pressure on.
42.
That's why
You require 142.
you'll see constantly averages in the mid to high 80s.
Going to stay there. Went chasing the bullseye.
100.
What percentage shot would have been to stay there to use the
70.
guide that was already in the treble.
14 leaves bull. Oh,
30. You require 40.
did Cardinal Sinner missing the big number twice.
In charge of the third pair, Barry Copeland. Fourth leg is Barry to throw first.
Didn't give himself a chance of a set dart. Would have been a clean sweep and it would have raised the confidence levels.
59.
Too many wild visits from Aaron in this match.
100. 81. 95.
I think the game with Neil will be a very different proposition for either player, particularly with the way Neil played last night.
129.
He's under terrific pressure from Reese and showed the instincts of a champion to dig deep and then take that last set 3-0.
55.
I think in terms of the scoring power, both men will know that they'll need to up their game for that one, but if it is Barry against Neil, that they'll play at each other more times than both can probably care to count, but there will be a very different edge to the game, so it might not be that scoring power is as important. It could well be it's more about the emotional highs and lows and how they gel and potentially the fireworks they create.
26. 55.
Strange decision though from Barry. I thought the way the first 2 darts were lying, he might elect to switch.
100.
149
require 149.
is doable, but his switches onto the 19s haven't been as profitable as he might have liked.
They have now.
133.
Great effort from Barry Copeland.
You require 125.
And he's going to get a chance at double 8.
43. You require 16. In shot of the fourth leg, Barry Copeland. Fifth leg two
Well, the
throw
scenario
first.
now is very simple. Aaron Turner has to hold his throat or he's out.
Yep. And having led 2-0, now 2-all, still hasn't had a set dart to close it out. So we'll need to make sure this leg he fires more straight and true than he has managed to in the last two. But this is a very good start from Barry if he can follow it in.
140.
Two poor visits to start from Aaron, and this could be the nail in the coffin here from Barry. That's a great first start.
81.
Nice roar there from Barry, geeing himself up. Down to a attractive finish, certainly for the way Barry plays.
60.
After 9, found the treble. First dart in every visit so far this leg. Does it again. Try to stay there for a shot at double 10 rather than going the tops route we saw Hannah Schneir do the other day.
That could be curtains for Aaron Turner. Barry looks to close it out in 13. There it is, and there you can hear Barry Copeland's delight at setting up a round 3 clash with his compatriot Neil. Well, quite simply, he was better in all departments. There was a fleeting revival from Wajer after the break, but it was far too sluggish a start. Barry Copeland heads through into round 3.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a massive round of applause for Aaron Turner. And into round 3, Barry Copeland. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back 10 minutes time, a 10-minute break. We will be back with our next match in the ladies competition as Atlanta Higher takes on Paula Murphy. We return to the women's second round Iraqi 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship, and we welcome back to the stage a young lady enjoying her third Lakeside World Championship. Championship, the former 6-time Las Vegas Open champion, the 6-time and reigning Charlotte Open champion, from the USA, Smooth Paula Murphy. We now welcome to the stage the former Antwerp Open, Malta Open and Czech Open champion, the reigning Swedish Open champion, the number 6 seed from the Netherlands, Aletta Wajer.
Came Paula Jacklin last year in a real scrap before Dieter Hedman proved too strong for her. She takes on Paula Murphy, who's making her 3rd World Championship appearance. Dominant player in the USA scene for a number of years now, nearly 2 decades in total. Won countless titles, but this is a big step up for her. It was a similarly scrappy game that Murphy won against Jacklin in order to set this tie up. Alex Moss of the Weekly Darts Cast is alongside me for this best of 3 sets game, and I think both players will fancy their chances.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone. This one, a real pick-em I think for the ladies draw. The 2nd round action continuing today, a spot in the quarterfinals up for grabs. We've already got 4 ladies through to the quarterfinals on Friday. Bo Greaves, the defending champion, was very impressive last night, as was Kirsty Vinakainen, who she played, almost getting that 9 darter, going 7 darts into it. You've also got the Czech player Jitka Cicerova and Dieter Hedman and Nicole Renault. So one of these will become the 5th player into the quarterfinals.
Paula plays the game in quite an idiosyncratic manner, I should say. Does tend to start on treble 19. And we'll be seeing the camera bob up and down quite a lot during this one.
First set, first leg, it's Paula the through first.
Yeah, we certainly will, and one thing I notice already is the sleeve, the mission sleeve. Hashtag believe in the sleeve. Richie Heiles making that sleeve very famous when he won the European Championship a couple of months ago, and we're seeing more players start to bring it into their game.
Should be said, it's not purely a fashion accessory. There is some scientific belief. They are the kinds of games, though, that players sometimes just have to battle through.
Yeah, it's all about the W getting through to the next round. And we've still got some quality operators to play in this tournament. We've got Rhiannon O'Sullivan, a 2-time Lakeside finalist, starting her latest campaign tonight. And the winner of this will play that game. So it is Rhiannon O'Sullivan against Lorena Rietbergen later on tonight.
Rhiannon, the heavy favourite, I think you've got to say, in the bottom half of the draw.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's got a lot of experience playing on that stage and playing across the coast as well, playing the WDF, playing the Women's Series as well. She's won a title on that, and a lot of the time she's finishing runner-up to Bo Greaves in these tournaments, but she has got a few wins against her as well. And she is battling through the other half of the draw to meet her as well, so lots of wins under her belt.
That took her by surprise.
80.
Very well recovered.
Yeah, finds the treble with the last dart, but Wajer with a decent advantage here. Looking to get her first leg on the board in this match. She's also someone that's played on the Women's Series as well. Not as often though as she plays on the WDF circuit. I think she played in 12 of the 24 events in 2024. Her focus has been on playing in the WDF system, getting to this Women's World Championship. And she's also playing for the Dutch national team as well.
57. Penalty requires 70.
Double top.
That's been
Back
shown
on
the
level
second.
terms.
Yeah, nice finish there for Wajer to get her first leg of the match. Murphy wasn't on a finish, but always nice to pin that double with your first dart. And Murphy now starting to find her range on the 19s.
117.
Bit wayward with that last one.
Nevertheless, a good start. That's Paula Murphy at her best, utilising that treble 19 segment.
68 years old, Paula Murphy. Not the oldest player we've seen on that lakeside stage. That going to Paul Lim last night. What a match that was against Kai Fan Lung. 2-0 up in sets. Lung bringing it back to 2 sets all, and Lim coming through in a deciding set. Really enjoyed watching that one in the crowd last night. And the crowd getting behind both players. A lot of support for Paul Lim here at Lakeside though. And his run continues.
Yes, Paula Murphy, a spring chicken in comparison to Paul Lim. She is the oldest player in the women's draw. 68 years old.
79.
Still going strong in the USA, but they are beginning to produce players to compete with her.
80.
Must say, I always enjoy going through the names of the titles in the USA. Shall I give you a few of my personal favourites?
I'm guessing the Cherry Bomb International.
Cherry Bomb International, the Choo Choo Classic, the Shoot for the Moon. I think the best one, definitely, Paul has not won it, the Hedgehog Hellraiser.
Oh, brilliant. To call yourself the Hedgehog Hellraiser champion.
It's what you dream of as a kid.
He's up,
140.
he's up there with the Torremolinos Open, that's for sure. But Paula Murphy, she might not have won that Hedgehog Hellraiser, but she has won plenty of titles during her career in the States. I think she's won over 50 WDF ranking titles over the years.
57. Volume required 140.
In danger of losing her throw in this leg. Wajer down to a more than makeable 64, which she will get a chance at in a moment.
60. Penalty required 64.
This is the big number.
32.
So Paula will return to try and take out 80.
80.
Will it be tops, or will she look at the treble first? It's another single 20 to leave tops.
60.
Just underneath.
Penalty required 32.
So Aletta Wajer comes back for double 16 for the first break in this match.
That's been
Pins
shown
it with the second dart. A round of applause for Paula Murphy. Very sporting over there.
She does do that when she loses any leg. Very polite.
I certainly wouldn't be doing that. And I do lose
What-
every leg.
What winning legs?
So Murphy will need to break Wajer in this leg to keep this set alive and get it back on throw.
59.
Missed the dart at tops to hold. And Wajer taking her opportunity.
100.
A steady start to this leg. Wajer is one of 4 Dutch players in the Women's World Championships this year. We've already seen Anke Zilstra go out in the first round. We have got Eileen de Graaf, last year's beaten finalist, coming up tomorrow. And Lorena Rietbergen already got a win earlier in the tournament. She's back tonight against Rianne O'Sullivan. You can see on Wajer's left sleeve, she's got the Dutch flag, very proud of representing the Netherlands. She said her proudest achievement is winning the WDF Europe Cup, which was a few months ago in Slovakia. And in a good position here to get this opening set.
Especially as Paula can't pick off any trebles, so 18 for tops for the first set.
18. Paula Unicorn 146.
Well, this is a checkout that does utilise treble 19. So, of course, she didn't go for it. 2 treble 19s would have left double 16.
Yeah, we see a lot more players go that 19s route
44.
on the 146.
Unicorn 40.
But it's tops now for Wajer.
Let's give show the
She
first
gets in the
set.
second dart.
Aletta.
First set, 2-letter Wajer.
Second set, first line. It's Aletta throw first. Game on.
Halfway to the finish line and halfway to getting through to her first World Championship quarter-final here at the Lakeside.
140.
And a great start to this second set.
$47. 59. 59.
Murphy going to need to start up in her scoring here. She is going to get back into this game. She is going to have to break the Aletta Wajer throw in this set as well. And she's not been afforded too many opportunities on the double. There was that one dart at tops for the 80. But really it's been Wajer who has been the better player so far.
57. 100.
Down to a finish after 12 darts.
Paula's range not there.
146.
Wajer's turn to have a go at the 146. She also starts on the 20s.
41.
Doesn't do a great job of it, but she's under no pressure.
Yeah, it's going to be 6 darts at least at this 105. Will it be treble 15 for tops?
85.
Pulls it low. Murphy down to a finish.
20.
It's double 10 for the first leg.
Let's give show the
Pins
first
it with the first dart.
Aletta. Second leg is ball the throw first. Game on.
And at the moment, it's one-way traffic.
Already looks like a long way back for Paula. Particularly if the darts keep drifting.
41.
Yeah, looks up to the heavens after that second dart, straying into the 1. Up against it here.
43.
This is better.
140.
Yeah, much better. Just what Paula Murphy needed, a 2 treble visit. This is a leg with her throw. She'd have been broken here. A set down, 2-0 down in the second set.
85.
And I believe that's what they call cosplaying. Aletta going down for the 19s this time.
this is much better. In that treble again.
100.
Wajer not imperative that she wins this leg. 2 holds of throw will get her through to the quarterfinals, but Murphy,
82.
more important for her to get this leg, because 2-0 down is a long way back.
60.
More promising. Down to a finish after 12 darts.
Yeah, it's the 138. Starts on the 20s. Again, it's a shot where we can see the 19s brought into play, 2
60.
treble 19s to leave the double 12.
43.
That's a loose one there from Wajer. Means she's not down to a checkout.
Nice flat dart to sit on top of.
Let's get shoulder the second leg.
Excellently done from Murphy. Landed at the first time of asking. And that stops the mini rot. Having lost 4 legs in a row.
Yeah, good finish there to level up the set. Now it's going to be looking for that breaker throw.
34.
But not the start she would have wanted to this leg.
45. 42. 57.
Just got a bit scrappy in this leg. Neither player able to find a treble yet. Which is good news for Murphy, because she needs that breaker throw. And she is in the treble here.
83.
Just above with the last one. But profiting on that last score from Wajer to edge ahead in this leg.
Aletta's level has dropped. She was comfortably averaging mid-70s at the end of the first set. She's still the stronger performer of the two, you'd say, but Paula's trying to mount a comeback.
85.
Yeah, looking back at her debut campaign 12 months ago, 61 average in the first round against Paula Jacqueline, upped it to a 69 average in the second round against Dieter Hedman, so she was on track for her best performance here on the Lakeside stage. But as you say, the trebles have dried up a little bit here.
95.
Murphy back down on the 19s, but 5 19s doesn't leave her a finish.
21.
But she's going to get down to a finish first here.
42 left.
130.
Yeah, great setup there to leave 32. Paula Murphy will come back to the board with a chance to break and then throw for this second set.
81. Qualifying 32.
It's double 8. One more dart at it.
Let's get
Pins
shoulder
it with the last dart. Good response from the American.
Finishing's been pretty good, 3 from 7.
Now throwing for this second set and to take us all the way.
58.
And if she can do that, she will have the throw in the final set.
45. 77. 83.
Wajer back down on the 19s, looking to find some trebles again. It was going all her own way just a few moments ago.
60.
The set up, 1-0 up. But now she is up against it.
33.
She'd be forgiven for fearing the worst, because this game could descend into a real scrap. She looked so comfortable in the first set.
Yeah, there's no breaks either. We are playing to a finish here.
140.
Leaves the bogey number, but Aletta has to get a 180 to get to a finish.
85.
So it's at least 6 darts here at the 166, and once again looking like she's going to leave it handy. A wild second one there.
84.
But pretty much halving her score there to leave 82. She's going to have lots of time to get this set won.
82.
79 left. She's looking at treble 13, I think.
That would have left tops.
26.
You'd imagine it will be a single 16 for tops when she comes back in a moment. Wajer, all she can do is pile on some pressure.
68.
But again,
Wajer card 56.
going astray with that dart. It is tops to make it 1 set all.
Let's give Charlotte a second set. Paula Murphy.
More clinical finishing from Murphy.
Third and final set, first leg. It's Paula the throw first. Game on.
Won the set against the darts as well, so well played from Paula. 3 legs on the bounce and finishing superbly.
45.
Yeah, some tidy finishing there to take us to this 3rd set. Murphy looking to get through to the quarterfinals for a 2nd consecutive year. Wajer looking to get there for the first time.
47.
Just dropped off there in the first couple of visits this leg. Wajer
140.
giving herself a come on. Ton and a 140 against the throw.
Suppose it's the pressure of knowing you've got the darts.
Yeah, she was in the ideal position at 1 set and 1 leg up. Maybe started to think about what was on the line, how close she was to that finishing line. But this has been a good response at the start of this final set, leaving the 170 after 9 darts. And like we've seen in a fair few legs in this match. Hang on.
141.
Almost nailing the 170. Making a bit of history here as well.
Yeah, that would have been the biggest ever finish for a female player on this stage. So Veronica Ehash with her 164 a couple of years ago to breathe a sigh of relief.
Wajer must have known that, because a lot of the time we see players lay up for their favourite double in the next visit.
Let's give Charlotte the first leg.
Wonderful leg of darts.
7
15
minutes up into the
from
throw
Aletta
first.
Wajer, and she's broken the throw straight off the bat.
Just what she wanted after losing that last set. One of the best legs of the match so far.
41.
Almost getting the big fish as well. Yeah, a lot of these legs we've seen a player run away with it. Not been a lot of close legs so far.
60.
And again here we see Wajer kick off with 2 trebleless visits. Murphy getting a single treble visit to immediately take back the throw here. Getting a little bit frustrated with those 2 darts.
30.
And that one as well.
Aletta's found the right time to pick a scoring up.
180.
A quality visit, and once again Murphy giving a round of applause as well. But she'll want to be finding those big trebles now herself.
95. 60.
Getting down to a finish first again, Wajer. And it is another big one, a 160.
39. Aletta Unicorn 160.
Not going to go this time, not going to get a chance at the double.
100.
But a nice pick up with the last dart to leave 60. And very well placed for a 2-0 lead in this deciding set.
15 darter could be followed by a 17 darter. That kind of range is going to win this match.
15. Aletta Unicorn 60.
Definitely is, so it is going to be 20 for tops. Double 10.
50.
Goes inside on both attempts at the double. We'll come back in a moment for double 5, but it's one of them doubles where you go inside, you've got to burn a dart to get down to double 2. And another treble here could make things interesting.
81. Aletta Unicorn 10.
Yeah,
And
great
that's
dart.
shoulder to center. Aletta. Furthest ball of the field first. Lima.
Paul has got to win 3 legs on the bounce. Aletta 501 points away from a place in the quarterfinals.
49.
Yeah, we think of Dutch ladies players that have played on this lakeside stage. There's been some real legends over the years. Frances Hunselaar, the one that springs to mind for me. I remember watching some of her battles with Trina Gulliver on that stage, and back then the ladies' final was at first to 2 sets, but we'd have loved to have seen it over a longer format because those 2 were 2 quality players. And more recently, Eileen de Graaf making the final
46.
last year. She's a former world master. She's won a lot of titles over the years.
Former Dutch Open winner as well against Bo Greaves.
140.
She's one of the players that on her day is going to be a threat for this title and to dethrone Bo Greaves. It's easier said than done.
140.
Good visit there from Murphy. That single one, meaning Wajer doesn't get down to a finish. But Murphy staying on the 20s, going to have to move here to leave a finish. Has a little think about the numbers.
99.
Gets down to a 167, but Wajer, you'd say a big visit here will make her the favourite.
60. Bowling Unicorn
Even that's
167.
okay, it leaves a Shanghai more than capable.
Murphy needed what would have been the biggest checkout we've seen in the Women's World Championship, a 167. Wajer had a shot at the 170, but it's 120 to book her place in the quarterfinals.
Couldn't get past the block of darts.
60. Bowling unicorn 111.
This to stay in it.
Well, it's a shocking dart. Doesn't give her a chance of a finish.
71.
And then that'll annoy her, the fact that the single three was hit with such
Aletta
authority.
unicorn 60.
Double top for a 2-1 win.
Game.
And Aletta
Shot.
Wajer seals her place in the quarterfinals. Very much a game of thirds. Aletta started strongly, went off the boil in the second set, allowed Murphy to come back with some really good finishing. But Aletta Wajer's big scoring power came back in the final set. Very nearly came close to breaking a finishing record with the 170. But she's done enough to get the job done over Paula Murphy, 2-1.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, so a massive round of applause for Paula Murphy. And the quarterfinals, Aletta Wajer. This is another 10-minute break, 10 minutes, and we will be back in the men's second round as Liam Mandel Lawrence takes on Sebring Heiles.
Slide into the treble.
Yeah, if you're going to miss the treble 20 with your first start, that looked like the ideal marker to get it with a second, but not able to. So Mandel Lawrence looking at double 5. And again, looks like a good marker. Goes inside. So missed doubles here for Mandel Lawrence. Heiles is going to come back with a chance to break and double his lead in this first set. Steps across the oche to find room for tops. Now back across for double 10.
55. Liam, you require 4.
Worst possible dart for Sebring, dragging it into the single 15.
Double 2 is hit with the first start for Mandel Lawrence. A little shake of the head there for Heiles, and we just spoke about it. Dealing with the pace of Mandel Lawrence, the game's going to get even longer if you get sucked into legs like that. And you're missing chances at the double, but that is the perfect response, a maximum, to kick off this third leg.
It's fair to say that Mandel Lawrence endured a bit of a mare of a debut last year, even though he got a win in the opening round against Mike Gillett. His luggage didn't arrive. He had to literally buy polo shirts and put the sponsor stickers on them. He had to borrow darts off other players. Didn't have the tools. He wasn't well equipped enough to put forward a run, because last year he was in good form as well.
Well, we can assume he's got his own playing shirt and his own darts here. So much more prepared this time around. And it's amazing really how many times we see players go off to Europe, go to events and luggage not turn up and have to play in different shirts and have to play with different darts as well.
140.
Tell you something, there's a nice colour coordination between them, isn't there?
There is, yeah, a bit of a kit clash. Wouldn't be able to play football against each other with these shirts.
Dart potential for Sebring. He did hit one of these against Kevin Luke.
It's going to be one for tops. For a comfortable holder throw. Double 10 now.
31.
And again, chasing the doubles. But he's afforded a little bit more time in this leg with Mandel Lawrence back on 280.
Straight at double five.
It's
In at the second attempt.
Tidies it up for a 2-1 lead in this opening set. All the legs so far going with the throw.
One thing that Andrew Sinclair told me about Liam is that he's trying to eliminate the little twist of the dart before he throws it. Because he says it sometimes spears them off course. If we just look at the way he grips it, you can see the twist before the dart's released, and Liam has apparently said to Andrew that it means his grip's in a different place. It's all about repetition.
121.
Yeah, definitely is, and Liam only 20 years old as well, so one of the youngest players in the men's field, but obviously looking to make changes to his game,
100.
find that extra percent, and he's got a long career ahead of him, really. So any advantage you can find, any tweaks you can make to your game, he's open to them. Good leg so far here. Looks like we're going to be going all the way to a fifth leg in this opening set.
58.
We'll see if Mandel Lawrence can break or if Heiles can hold. Not crucial to win the opening set, but for either of the players, it will be a little bit of a settler to get that first set next to their name.
57.
Mandel Lawrence now coming back for 80 to level the first set at 2 legs all. It'll be single 20 for tops. Tops for the leg. And tops he finds. So the opening set going to this fifth and deciding legs, and with set play as well, we don't see it very often. Well, this is the only event we see it now on the WDF tour. These fifth legs in sets can be crucial.
Sibron has advantage of throw.
He's just stood at the back of the stage as well, not looking at what Mandel Lawrence is doing, just focusing on himself. But needs to keep in his own rhythm. We saw at times in that game against Kevin Luke that once he does get into a rhythm, the big scores can come very quickly. And we've seen it in this match as well.
That's unlucky.
39.
Been 4 holes of throw so far, and all of them relatively comfortable, maybe aside from leg 2 where Heiles dragged that dart at double 10 into the 15 segment.
A trebleless visit there for Heiles, but has got a decent lead in this deciding leg. Mandel Lawrence into the 5 with his first dart, now coming downstairs to find some big scores. But he's unable to. Sibron will want to put in some big trebles here. Hammer home that advantage, finds one with the last dart.
100.
And the set looks to be heading his way.
He looks as if he's trying to inject a bit of extra pace into the game, into his own throw, which could be a good thing, but could be a sign that the Mandel Lawrence pace is getting to him, or lack thereof.
Yeah, this is a test for Sibron.
43.
But at the moment, well, it's unfortunate the dart bouncing out there, but back in the treble.
80.
And down to a finish first in this final leg. Mandel Lawrence is going to need to be perfect here to get down to a finish.
96. Jim, you require 110.
Gets a treble with the last dart, but it's going to be at least 6 darts here for Heiles. Tops now he wants for the set.
90.
Goes low.
Chance to come back. Laying back on 2-2-2. And a mixed bag from Liam so far.
21.
Yeah, not the ideal visit there for Mandel Lawrence.
You require 20.
Affords Heiles another 3 darts if he needs them, but he'll want to get it done now. And he gets it done with the first dart. Little yell to the crowd as well and his supporters. It's the first set for the Belgian.
Snuck into the bottom corner.
$125.
This is the third game of the afternoon session. We'll end it with Jason Brandon's debut against Schneir of Austria, who was terrific in beating Laszlo Kadar. That was a cracking game of darts on the stage. Round 2 comes to an end tonight with Gary Stone's match against Dennis Nilsson, Rhiannon O'Sullivan against Lorena Rietbergen, and then we move on to round 3. The old Belgian affair with Schneir and Raman before Brandon Weening takes on Shane McGurk of the Republic of Ireland, who's back from a couple of days at work across the Emerald Isle.
Yeah, he's been a busy man, hasn't he? Already played a couple of games in this tournament, looked very impressive as well. A couple of 90-plus averages, I think a 92 and a 96 so far. Really announced himself as one of the players to look out for in the men's draw. And the winner of this will play the winner of that next game, that Jason Brandon, Schneir game. Right at the bottom of the men's draw, those 2 matches. And a real opportunity, you'd say, for one of those 4 players to make it through to the quarterfinals on Friday.
Have to agree, none of them particularly fancied.
Well, last night we saw the men's favourite, Jimmy Van Ski, make his debut. Very impressive performance against Bjorn Leon.
139.
We also saw the women's favourite, Bo Greaves, get her campaign underway and looked pretty good as well. Those 2 players are going to take some stopping this week.
Just imagine how broken the internet would be if Kersey
140. You require 160.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. Still time this week though for the 9-darter. Mandel Lawrence though will want a 164 first in this leg. Needed the treble 18 for the shot of the ball.
81.
So an outside chance here for Sibrin Heiles to break the throw. Needs another one of them, which would have left him double 12.
104.
Tidies it up nicely to leave tops.
You require 83.
Tops.
63.
Just goes underneath for that last one.
40.
May have been a bit of contact with the first start.
Those tops now for Heiles.
No score.
Doesn't go.
Liam, you require 20.
Not the first time he's spurned a break opportunity.
Mandel Lawrence looking at double 10. Like Heiles did a few moments ago, drifting into that single 15.
At least he's going to get a chance to come back. Looks at double 2. Finds double 2. Terrific recovery from Liam Mandel Lawrence.
Yeah, rescued that very well after the first start. And he takes the opening leg of this second set on the throw.
One of Sibrin's most notable runs this year came in the quarterfinals of the Dutch Open, which is a tremendous achievement in its own right, beating off competition from over 3,000 others. Did have a crack at Q School as well, but didn't make it into the second stage.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, a player that I've not come across too often, but saw his name in the draw for the Lakeside and what he's achieved to get here. First time we've really seen him on a stage of this magnitude, but that run to the quarterfinals of the Dutch Open, that's something that does take a lot of doing. It's an event that is played over a few days. You've got to play a lot of matches each day. There's been some of the greats of the game that have won that event.
I think what he's done this year is use the WDF system to his advantage because, okay, the Dutch Open's a platinum event, but he's generally played in the smaller silver and bronze events. He's been willing to put the graft in, do the travelling, hence why he's here.
99.
Yeah, he's gone around Europe, collected the points to get himself this Lakeside debut. But who knows? I think he's only 26 years old, so again, like Mandel Lawrence, a long career ahead of him. Wonderful to see him go back to Q School in January, give that another go. Maybe look to play on the Challenge Tour, but you'd expect to see him on the WDF circuit again next year.
78.
And just building and building that experience. Heiles.
83.
Well, that last start in the treble one has made his check out a little bit harder than it could have been. But he may get a chance if Mandel Lawrence can't take this 1-3-2. Needed a 25 or the ball for the shot to stay on. So he will get a chance at the 101 for what would be the first break of this match.
94. Children to require 101. 53.
Doesn't get a shot.
Liam, you require 38.
So it's 38 that Mandel Lawrence needs here. Double 19. Pins in with the first start. The hold to throw continue in this match. He leads 2-1. Over to you, Sebring Heiles.
125.
Confidently taken from Liam. There would have been the temptation to split the double 19. Can often be perilous, but made it look simple.
Yeah, very attacking ploy there, going straight for the double 19. Didn't want to give up a dart, going for a single 6 to leave double 16.
81.
And it's always a nice feeling when that double 19 goes in first start. Made the right choice.
100.
Very much a back and forth game, this one so far. Not much in the way of pressure coming back from Mandel Lawrence in this leg.
100.
So we appear to be heading to another fifth leg in a set. That is when the pressure really can ramp up, because it could be 2-0 to Heiles, or we could be going to a break with it tied at 1 set all, and finally in the balance.
100. 58.
Slightly unusual choice to start 176 on the 19s. But if you do hit one of them, you leave 119 single, then it means you can go up for tops.
Tidies it up nicely to leave tops. Will he get a go at it? Heiles looking at 19. 2 darts at double 8. 2 misses at the double 8.
They were poorly thrown. Sibren had such an advantage after the first 3 visits.
Yeah, the first real signs of frustrations there from Heiles. Mandel Lawrence taking full advantage to level us up at 1 set all.
Indeed, it's the first break of throw we've seen in the match so far. It'll make Liam Mandel Lawrence feel better, but Heiles has the advantage of throw in the 3rd set. Tight game here, very tense on the lakeside stage.
In Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
Well, this one is very close indeed. Liam Mandel Lawrence getting the first break of throw to win the 2nd set against Sibren Heiles after 8 holds consecutively. Sibren does have the advantage still. He won the bullseye in the back room, so he throws first in the odd-numbered sets. But after a fairly poor start from Liam, he has come back into this game. Sibren would probably argue has been the better performer, but the way that Liam's approaching the game obviously doesn't suit the Belgian and might send him packing if he can't continue to get into his rhythm.
Yeah, that's right, and very finely poised this one as we play to a finish now. First to 3 sets, 1 set apiece. Both players are looking to make the last 16 for the first time here at the Lakeside. Heiles, of course, this is his debut. Mandel Lawrence making his debut last year, losing out in the last 32.
140.
There was a short break we just had. Mandel Lawrence was the first one back on the stage, having a few throws, getting himself ready.
57.
Looking to prove why he is the number 6 seed, still carrying those points from tournament successes last year.
Yeah, picked up 3 titles on the WDF tour last year, the Slovak Open, the Swiss Open and the Helvetia Open. And I think it was the first one he won, the Slovak Open, beating Andy Barton's on the way to that title, who at the time was the WDF #1, would go on to win the Lakeside, so a feather in his cap there to beat Barton's on the way to that title. Martin Schindler picking up 2 Euro Tour titles in the PDC this year. Ricardo Pietrexco, Gabriel Clemens getting to the semi-finals. Ali Pally and Belgium as well. We've had some major winners in the past. Andy Barton, who I mentioned a moment ago. Dimitri van der Berg, Mike De Decker.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Andy Barton's debut year in the PDC did not go to plan. Qualify for Alexander of Palace or the recent Players' Championship finals. But some players who played on this stage last year did have excellent debuts. You think of players like Chris Lamman, James Hurrell. Sibren Heiles looks at tops. He's dragged well wide and he's only now going to get 1 dart, providing this single 3 is tied it up, which it is.
24.
Doesn't go, so the chance here to break for Mandel Lawrence. Broke in the last leg of the second set to win it 3-1. A chance to break the Heiles throw again. Looking at tops. And he does exactly the same as Heiles going into that single 5. Going outside the board, going for a single 3 there. The horror show of a visit for the German. Heiles looking at double 8. And you can't get much closer than those 3 darts.
Well, Liam should have had a straight shot at double 16. There's no real excuse for missing the board. Make sure of it this time.
In this leg, double 2 now. Double 1, 1 dart left. Goes inside in all 3 attempts. Mandel Lawrence wants double 4 to break again.
That's the most important dart of the match so far, because for the first time, Liam Mandel Lawrence has nudged himself in front.
Yeah, takes the lead. Breaks the Heiles throw. Now want to make the most of that advantage that he's got. Hold throw here. He'll be well placed for this 3rd set.
22.
But not the ideal start to this leg with a 22. Heiles in the 1 segment as well.
40.
Well, Liam Mandel Lawrence has just broken the throw. He started with a visit of 22, and yet Heiles could take no advantage. That'll be one of the most frustrating visits he's had in the match.
Yeah, needs to find his range again, not only on the doubles, but on the trebles as well.
100.
Manages to get that treble with the last dart. Good visit there from Mandel Lawrence. Adjusting well to find the treble.
100.
Going back to last year's tournament, we talked about Andy Barton's. I think it was 7 of the 10 seeds getting their tour card, something like that. So it does show that this system is a breeding ground for players to then move on to the PDC tour.
And what it also did was open the field up this year. Wouldn't really be any surprise to see an unseeded player go and win this title.
Absolutely not. And yeah, it was a surprise to see Andy Barton's, after he won the Lakeside, we thought he'd get his tour card, but to not get to the World Championship in the PDC this year is a real surprise, and just goes to show that you can win the Lakeside, but doesn't guarantee you success when you go over to the PDC. Finds the treble 19 with the last start to leave 42. But Mandel Lawrence here, this is to hold for a 2-0 lead. Perfect start. It'll be 9 for tops.
He's been using tops and 10s throughout.
69.
Puts it on the wire.
42.
This has got to go for Heiles. Just weighing up his options. And it's 10 for double 16. And again, missed doubles proving so costly for Heiles here.
Well, he's missed his last 12 darts at a double. You could hear the anguish scream almost.
Yeah, the two contrasting emotions there.
No mercy shown from the 20-year-old.
60.
Yeah, he's getting frustrated now, Heiles. In that first set, he looked so composed. He got it. Went all the way to 5 legs. He held throw in all of his legs to take the set, but some signs there that he's starting to unravel.
60.
Those missed doubles will not help. This will help though.
140. 43. 140.
Yeah, back-to-back 140s for Heiles. Not giving up on this third set.
And racing around the stage. Carrying some real Josh Rock energy.
Yeah, he loves to stomp around the stage, Josh does. Complete contrast, you've got the stomping round of Josh Rock and Scott Mitchell. More of a gentle stroll to the board.
97. 100. Zebra, you require 64.
Double top.
Double as well are going inside, so whereas opposed to going outside, it means you've got a marker to work with. He's chasing around the board on these doubles a lot of the time. It's double 10 now. See, that's a better dart to work with, but goes inside with a second. It's double 5.
10.
Really starting to get frustrated. He will come back though with another 3 darts to keep this set alive.
25. Zebra, you require 10.
Could split this. He was brave to go straight for the double 5, and that ends a 4-leg run. Only a hold.
Ends a run of missed doubles as well. But we'll need to break Mandel Lawrence here
81.
to keep this set going and take it to a 5th leg. Talks about the other Belgian players in this men's field. It's worth mentioning a young player in the boys' field as well, Lex Passhouse, I think only 13 years old. He's making his debut at the Lakeside later this week in the boys' event, the quarterfinals, and what a talent he is.
61.
He's won the World Masters boys. He's through to the JDC final, which is going to be played at Ali Pali in a few weeks' time, and part of the Intermission Academy stable of players. We've got the Dazzler, Daryl Fitton, in the house this afternoon. He looks after the academy. I know he's very proud of Lex and all the players, and that JDC final is going to be Lex going up against Daniel Stevenson, an all-mission final. So he's a very happy chappy, that's for sure.
61.
I'm beginning to think you work for Mission.
I've got my fingers in a few pies, mate. Let's put it that way.
170.
There's the 170, not the checkout, but a great visit for Heiles that gets him down to a finish and a chance to break the fray.
Heiles has left his mark on the tournament. He's got the joint.
So Heiles now will need to break Mandel Lawrence in this set to keep his World Championship hopes alive.
100.
Took the opening set with the throw, but he's lost the last 2.
60.
Mandel Lawrence in the ascendancy in this one. Looking to make the last 16 for the first time. Break new ground here at the Lakeside, the German.
44.
In that bottom half of the draw with some big names, the likes of Jimmy Vansky, Neil Duff,
60.
who we saw win last night, Gary Stone, who's going to be making his start to his campaign tonight.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of people fancy him to have a good run.
Yeah, I think he was the favourite with some of the bookmakers
44.
before the tournament started, but after that performance from Jimmy Vansky last night, I think he has gone favourite with pretty much all of them, and quite rightly so.
117 first 9 average from the big man who's over in the crowd. You might have seen him in the walk-on, giving his best wishes to Sibrin. And if you didn't see him, then you maybe need your eyes testing, because he's pretty big.
He's massive.
60. Liam, you require 110.
So this 110 then for Mandel Lawrence for the opening leg of this fourth set. Put the shots off now with that single 7. Heiles should probably say needs something like this, like a 112, pinning the double with 1 dart just to get himself going again.
70.
Because at the moment it's been a lot of missed doubles with 3 darts in hand. Finds the treble 20 there, so it's double 16, and right on cue pins the 112 finish. Saw the emotion from him there. That may just be what he needs to mount a comeback in this match.
Biggest finish so far numerically, and maybe in terms of significance. Might lead to a change of tack as well, because it's tops and 10s where he's really struggled.
57.
They opt to start using the 16s and 8s.
Yeah, that 112, there would have been ways where he could have left tops, but deciding to not go that route. 20, treble 20, double 16. If he'd have gone on the 18s, that would have ensured he would have had that chance at tops. That was a breaker throw as well, which he needed.
What he didn't need was opening visits of 57 and 45.
85.
Yeah, it's just that inconsistency at the moment, not being able to reel off a few legs. That's why Mandel Lawrence has
100.
put himself in the lead here at 2-1. Great visit there from Heiles, adjusting after the single 5 to hit 2 treble 20s, almost down to a finish. Looking good here to double his lead.
But
a good reply from Mandel Lawrence.
Well thrown darts, but don't find the treble.
Yeah, Heiles would have liked to have come back to a smaller finish in his next visit, but 114, he's just had the 112.
59.
Mandel Lawrence leaving the Shanghai 120. Starting on the 19, so it is going to be tops. And he gets tops on his first start. That is back-to-back ton plus checkouts for Sibrin Heiles. Couldn't buy a double, but he's just pinned his last 2 of those ton plus finishes, a 112 and now the 114.
Funny how things can fall into place.
180.
With those 3 darts darts falling into place very nicely for the German, a maximum.
45.
Won't want to be brushed 3-0 in this set. You want to keep it going as long as possible.
95.
Nothing really coming back from Heiles in this leg. So it looks like we are going to go to the fourth leg, where Heiles will have the darts to try and close out this fourth set and take us all the way.
45. 85.
Plenty of time for Mandel Lawrence here. It's going to be the perfect setup as well, almost. I was looking for the 25 to leave 36. He will come back in a moment, looking at 46 to keep this set alive.
57. Liam, you require 46.
Heiles, I think, already thinking about the next leg.
Doesn't need to waste valuable energy in this one with Liam so far in front.
Double 10.
26.
Goes outside.
79. Liam, you require 20. No score.
No adjustment to be found, and now Sibron will probably be ruining the fact that this has been a pretty dreadful scoring leg.
Yeah, slowly getting down
60.
to a finish, Heiles.
Liam, you require 20.
You'd expect Mandel Lawrence to clean this up now with another 3 darts in hand at double 10. And he gets it with the first dart.
Third leg, Liam Mandel Lawrence. Fourth leg, Sibron to throw first. Game on.
So now this fourth leg, Heiles has the dart. He's already on the attack with a 1-3-5.
135.
Imperative that he holds his throat. Will send the match to a deciding set. If he loses, Liam throws for it.
Yeah, important stages of this match now as we edge towards the finish line.
58.
Heiles took the opening set, lost the next 2. But it looks like we are heading all the way to that 5th set. As the Belgian follows the 1-3-5 with a maximum. Firmly in control of this leg. If he can win this one, we are going to that 5th set where Heiles will have the darts in legs 1, 3 and 5.
58.
On a check out after 9 darts. Couldn't have asked for much more than that.
Sibron, you require 128. 63.
Wouldn't have needed to go for the bullseye. He could have laid up had he hit the treble 20.
Yeah, I think he would have as well. So we'll come back in a moment at 65 for this 4th set.
54. Sibron, you require 65.
Most likely look at the bull again. Gets the 25. So it's 2 darts at tops. Down to double 10.
55.
And the miss is creeping back into his game.
Well, the attempt at tops was closer to the treble.
Not much in the way of pressure coming back from Mandel Lawrence. Doesn't get down to a finish, so Heiles with plenty of time to clean up this double 5. That'll be 1 for double 2. Well, he's in the madhouse, double 1. If Mandel Lawrence can find a couple of trebles here, could be a lot of pressure on the Belgian shoulders. Can't find one though. Gets the double 1. We are going all the way to a 5th and deciding set.
It was only a 21 dart hold of throw, but all 3 legs that Sibron won then were comfortable. Liam wasn't anywhere to be seen.
81.
It's been a really good response from Sibron Heiles after losing those couple of sets either side of the break. It looked like it was heading Mandel Lawrence's way, but an excellent response. And against the throw in that last set.
60.
He had to come from a set down in his first round game against Kevin Luke. He's come from a set down here.
Unfortunate.
Almost a maximum. It's got him right back in this leg.
100.
Heiles leaving the 160, but Mandel Lawrence will be looking to leave something smaller than that after these 3 darts. And he should do now. Gets down to 121, but it's 160. The first attempt for Heiles.
112.
Recovers it well after that first dart in the single 1.
121.
Might only be 1 dart at the bullseye for Liam Mandel Lawrence. It's not going to be that. Sibron needs to get psyched up. He's coming back to the board.
53.
This to regain the lead and take the first leg in this deciding set. It's double 16. And he finds the double 16 with that first dart. A clean kill there for the Belgian. And it's first blood to Heiles in this deciding set. Mandel Lawrence, 6 years the junior of Heiles. Does have a lot more experience though playing on stages. Played at the Lakeside last year. He's played a few times on the Euro Tour. He's played some big names as well. I think his debut was against Richie Bennett, who won the Lakeside here in 1995. So he's got experience of playing some of the top players.
123.
We need every ounce of that experience now to come back and win this game.
100.
Because Heiles seems to have got into a rhythm again. When he's cleaning up those doubles like he was in that last leg quickly, combine that with the trebles and the good scoring. He's a tough customer to get rid of.
140.
Similar score would get Sibron down to a finish.
He'll be looking to fill it up though, and he does.
180.
To leave a 130.
Timing with a capital T.
But this is not the time for single freeze. But that's a good recovery. Gets the treble with the last start to get under a ton, but 130. Needed a treble 20 to have a shot at the ball. Gets the ball, but not at the end of the combination. So Mandel Lawrence, 95 to hold throw in this second leg.
Safety first. Misses the big number. He should have gone for a safe 20, knowing that he was opting for the bullseye first. Criminal from Liam Mandel Lawrence.
Yeah, that could be costly because Heiles is coming back with 55 to break the throw and go 2-0 up in this last set. Double 10 last start. Doesn't go. It's 2 more missed doubles for Heiles. Mandel Lawrence reprieved here.
It's been hard graft for both players. Liam Mandel Lawrence punishes the 2 misses from Heiles.
How costly are those 2 misses going to be in 5 or 10 minutes time? A chance to go 2-0 up in this last set and throw for the match. Now he's got to win 2 more legs still. Trebles eluding Heiles there in the first couple of visits to this leg. Mandel Lawrence finding one with his second dart.
99. 100.
Steady ton there to get down to 61. Mandel Lawrence really should have been going for a check out here. So this is to regain the advantage in this final set. 1 dart at tops.
41.
Goes inside again on the tops. That double has not been Heiles' friend in this match.
Liam now has to find a trap. We've already lost 6 seeded players from the men's draw out of 13. Liam in grave danger of becoming number 7.
Good last start there. Gives himself an advantage after 2 visits each in this leg. That's 9 darts without a treble in this leg for Liam Mandel Lawrence.
140.
Mandel Lawrence is on the brink. A horrible leg at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's been a game that you really couldn't call. We've had Sieber and Heiles taking the first set,
132.
losing the next 2. Mandel Lawrence taking the lead, but Heiles has come back well, levelled it at 2-all. And now he's just 48 points away from a place in the last 16.
And it was ultra safe to not even bother going for a single 20.
I think as well, because he's got such a big lead in this leg. He wanted to avoid tops at all costs. You'd imagine it will be single 16 here. he's hitting 8, so he's back to tops.
Huge deep breath. Sibren Heiles has won a marathon contest against Mandel Lawrence. He was put under the pump constantly, as much by himself as his opponents. Heiles was so wasteful on the doubles, you thought Liam was going to mount a comeback, but he is the Belgian who has run by 3 sets to 2.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation to Liam Mandel Lawrence. And into round 3, Sibren Gambles. Matches down, we have 1 match to go. We will be back in 10 minutes with our next men's round 2 match as Jason Brandon takes on Heiles Schneir.
World that you should not miss, and the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December. Esbjerg, the Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships. Along with the Silver Denmark Masters, it's a tournament weekend to look forward to. The Toronto Area Open is held from May 30th till June the 1st. Shooters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
We continue with the men's second round here at the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome back to the stage a man enjoying his Lakeside World Championship debut, the former Balaton Darts Classics, Balaton Darts Masters Champion, and the reigning Slovenia Open Champion from Austria, the Ram, Heiles Schneir. His opponent is the reigning Charlotte Open and two-time Virginia Beach Classic champion. From the USA, the number 11 seed, Jason Brandon.
So for the final time this afternoon, we welcome another seeded player in the men's tournament. The number 11 man, Jason Brandon, 49-year-old American, a player who's only recently made his introduction to the winner's circle of tournaments, picked up 5 in the USA in the past 3 years. And comes up against Austrian Heiles Schneir, who overcame Laszlo Kadar in what was probably one of the most entertaining games in round 1. Just about overcame the Romanian, hitting a tops finish, which he certainly heard about. Surviving match darts from Laszlo in the process. Jason's had some very good results in recent times. Got to the quarterfinals of the World Masters, averaging 105.
Example of what he's capable of, but it's also fair to say in that game he didn't really get any darts at a double because Connor averaged 110, and obviously most of Jason's average was just scoring. But I think the remainder of his averages in the tournament were sort of high to 80s, low 90s, so he's very, very capable, and he's produced some really good darts to win 2 titles this year, which saw him finish second in the American regional table.
140.
I think one thing to watch in Jason's game, he does like switching to 18s, so a lot of his cover shots will be
60.
drifting across. You'll notice there's a slight lean in his throw, so it does favour switches to the 18s.
83.
Pretty good start. Schneir has had quite a lot more recent match practice, including his game against Laszlo Kadar. Jason's last game was that World Masters quarter-final, so he's had around about 6 weeks off. Might have played some local stuff in the USA, but in terms of real competitive action, might come in a bit cold.
125. Jason, you require 100.
Decided tops was the shot.
Didn't quite work out for the man from Cowan, Tennessee.
180. Jason requires 60.
Early stages give big promise to this game.
In charge of the first
Brandon
leg.
slots it home,
Jason Brandon. Second leg.
defying the 180 from Schneir.
Hannes nicknamed the Ram because, as he tells me, it's because he's as stubborn as an old ram. And yeah, I mean, Hannes has been playing darts more than 30 years, started as a youth player in Austria.
180.
Jason, a slightly more recent convert, but a man with tremendous talent.
140.
And only tremendous talents can get to 181 after 6 darts. This has been very confident from Jason Brandon.
140.
Yeah, I do imagine Jason's been getting a good bit of practice at home. His wife, Jolene, and his daughter, both avid players as well. So, although he
41.
didn't play in the Seacoast Open up in Massachusetts in November, and there were no CDC events left to test himself, I'm sure he's been getting in the practice back home in Tennessee. And I know there's a lot of support from another Tennessee native who we've seen on this stage before, Joe Cheney. 2 men are close friends from the same neck of the woods. And I know Joe will be at home cheering Jason on here this afternoon. Or morning, as it will be for Joe and Sandy.
88 then for Schneir.
62. Jason, you require 80.
Opportunity for Jason Brandon to come back. Flat darts so he can stack them.
40. And you require 8.
Double 2. Oh, that's a mile off.
Yeah.
Or in the case of this game, in USA v Austria, a kilometre off.
In charge of the second leg, Jason Brandon. Third leg is Jason to throw
They have
first.
been made to wait probably longer than expected because Mandel Lawrence Heiles game took around an hour and a quarter.
Yeah, that was an absolute grueler. Credit to Cybern for staying with it and really stepping up in the last couple of sets. A couple of nice checkouts and a 14 darter to win it. But yeah, I mean, Heiles has been in the back room practicing pretty much all afternoon. He's been ready and raring to go after he impressed so much in that win over Laszlo Kadar. And you'll notice that Heiles, he's got a lot of ink on there. He's a very colourful character, is Heiles, with the blue trousers and the blue shoes, but he's also got a lot of tattoos as well. On his right arm, what you can see is actually a very colourful piece that's one of the iconic Rapid Vienna football teams. There's a number of famous faces for fans of Rapid will recognise those. He was talking me through all the squad that you can see there, the faces. And there's a few others as well. His nickname is on his left arm. There's also tribute tattoos to his wife Jasmine, who also likes some colourful darting attire, and also his children as well.
58.
He claims there's one of Super Mario on his feet, but it didn't show me those, thankfully.
Wise decision.
85.
Winner of this will face Cybern Heiles in round 3, and both players will have watched that game and seen weakness and vulnerability, particularly on the doubles, so it's a very tempting clash for both of them.
140.
Yeah, it'll be an element of revenge for Jason if he can get there, because in the first round, Simon dumped out his compatriot, who's in the crowd cheering him on now, Kevin Luke.
20. Heiles, you require 167.
Tried to overcorrect there, Jason, and ended up in the single 8 rather. Heiles not going to take this 167.
93. Jason, you require 24.
Double 6.
8 shots.
Sneaks it in.
Jason Brandon.
And Jason Brandon can be very, very pleased with that opening set. Hannah's actually had a higher average, but because he wasn't really allowed many darts at double.
To throw first. Anyone.
I think it's fair to say that this game will zip along a little bit more than the last one.
Yeah, these two throw at a very attractive pace. And so far, the scoring has been hugely entertaining.
140.
As well as in the WDF, we see Jason compete in tournaments on the CDC circuit. Reached a final of one last year, losing out to Alex Spellman.
140.
And yeah, that's also through that Jason got his first taste of stage experience last year. He played at the PDC's World Series event, the US Darts Masters, lost to Rob Cross. And to be fair to Jason, I remember speaking to him after that, and he said that he was really disappointed with his performance.
100.
Lost 6-2, averaged just 75, which was not a fair reflection of either his ability or the progress that he's made in the last few years. Really has blossomed as part of a wave of new talent that includes that man you mentioned he lost to in the CDC, Alex Spellman, a very talented player who potentially we could be seeing here in years to come.
96.
We could be seeing a quick demise for Hannah Schneir if he doesn't start finding doubles. Has to go treble 17.
68. Jason, you require 25.
Double 8. Double 4. And that's 4 straight legs for Jason Brandon.
Jason Brandon. Second leg is Jason to throw first.
This has been relentless from Jason. It's part of the shot darts team. Shot makes some great products, a great team. I remember Jason used to get a lot of his equipment supplied by a company called Pickled Pig Darts, which I have to admit did tickle me. Not sure if they're still on board as a sponsor for the 49-year-old, but
I don't know if I want to know the origin story for that company name.
I'm hoping it lives up to the name. It's always a worry with things like that it's actually not as humorous as you may hope.
100.
Some more pedestrian start from Jason. Just found the treble now though.
100.
Heiles is just the third Austrian man to step on this stage. After Mensa Sulevic some 20 plus years ago. There's a very young looking photo of Mensa in the back room, and then we saw Heiles' international teammate Christian Girdle, the Black Panther, play here last year.
140.
But imagine we'll be seeing more Austrians here in the years to come. Very well run federation with a lot of support. Humorous shrug there from Heiles, and then filled it up anyway. Wonder whether he thought that second one looked a little loose.
130. And he's shooting by 120.
Not a bullseye that Jason wanted to hit.
That you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December 2020. The Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships, along with the Silver Denmark Masters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
It has been a dream start to Lakeside Life for the number 11 seed, Jason Brandon, 49-year-old American who does have stage experience in the past playing at Madison Square Gardens in the PDC World Series. He's brought that experience here and he has been absolutely sensational so far, particularly in terms of timing, because Heiles has played very decently himself, averaging 2 points more than Jason. But whenever Heiles is there ready to pounce, Jason seems to take out the right shots at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. Very often in the game so far, 4 18-dart legs where Jason's found that double with the last dart in hand. And that's meant that Heiles has often been sat on fairly attractive finishes that he would back himself to take, particularly if he finishes as well as he did against Laszlo the other day. But ultimately, he's not managing to get a chance because Jason is finding them with that last dart in hand, which is always crueler than if you hit it first time.
140.
But no, these are two players representing two nations that are big supporters of the WF system. The American Federation, run by Jim Widmeyer, who's played on this stage many times, was here last year actually, got to the last 16. Jim's doing a great job getting the Las Vegas Open upgraded to a gold, but also bringing back the USA Darts Classic, which used to be one of their biggest tournaments. That'll be in Florida in August, and then Austria. As I said, there have been 3 Austrian men on this stage before, but they get tremendous support from the federation, and the head of the Austrian Federation, Mr. Dietmar Schumann, is actually here today, cheering on Heiles. And yeah, they also, Austria, run the biggest youth darts tournament in the world, the International Youth Challenge. It was in March. Had more than 120 players last year from a number of different countries, from North Africa to all across Europe. So the opportunities are there.
Opportunities not there for Heiles. 13 darter, so clearly refreshed after the short interval.
59.
You mentioned the Las Vegas Open, a gold tournament, so anyone who wins that automatically books their spot at Lakeside. That'll be a tournament that Jason eyes up.
Absolutely.
140.
You'll often see the European events, for example, are often double headers where they'll have a ranked tournament on Saturday and a ranked tournament on Sunday. Typically in North America, they've only had single tournament weekends because those weekends are so jam-packed with cricket and triples, and they played so many different disciplines over there. Since Jim has come in and taken over that role at the ADO, they have started to move towards more of those double headers, knowing that the more tournaments you run, the more points and opportunities you're offering to your players to get points in the race to Lakeside. So he's doing good work over there, is Jim.
57.
Was very unlucky to miss the World Masters this year, Jim, but his house was in direct line of one of the big hurricanes, so had to stay at home. Ultimately, everything was all good for him and his family, so to win, but he wasn't able to compete out in Budapest, where we've already spoken about the exploits of Jason Brandon. Heiles also played some good stuff there, and it was his run at the World Open that bagged him enough points to secure this debut.
80. Jason, you require 124.
Likely to get 6 darts to take 1, 2, 4. The only thing that seems to be annoying Jason is the dart landing above the top wire on the treble 20.
Yeah, and he's not made as much use of that treble 18 switch so far in this game as I have seen him do in the past, although that's probably likely a product of the number of 1 and 2 treble 20 visits he's managed to find so far.
Double top for a break of throw. And in the space of around 20 minutes, Jason Brandon is 1 leg away from round 3.
Third leg is Jason to throw first.
He's just been unbelievably efficient and effective so far. It's been a real impressive debut here from Jason, and a slightly exasperated look on Heiles' face, because you've got to think, he's thinking to himself, well, as you said, I haven't done a lot wrong here. I'm just not getting a look in.
When one player has won 8 legs and the other has only won 1, you'd expect a stark gap in the averages. Jason's ahead by 2 points.
It looked an evenly matched game on paper, and in the scoring phase it pretty much has been, but yeah, Jason's just been so efficient, taken out the chances, and has left Heiles waiting.
42.
That's a rare poor visit though, so Heiles should take the darts here if he can find a treble.
45.
Jason very much looking to stand up for the Americans here, because his 2 compatriots in the men's tournament, Jeff Springer, Kevin Luke.
46.
They're all drawn in the same section, but the other two fell out at the first hurdle.
Treble 19. What a way to win this would be.
137. And it's your final 170. Jason, you require 20.
Double 10. Magnificent. Absolutely superb from Jason Brandon, who won 9 from 10 legs on his Lakeside debut. Make no mistake, he could be one to watch if he continues to perform like that. A super doubling display, excellent scoring throughout. Schneir will feel harshly done to, taking only one leg, but he was limited to very few opportunities. The number 11 seed is through in straight sets.
A round of applause for Schneir. On to round 3, Jason Brandon. And that does bring an end to our afternoon session here at the Lakeside. To all our viewers on the Great Game YouTube channel, we will be back for our evening session at 7 o'clock.
22nd of January and kickstart the new WDF ranking season in historical Bucharest. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from January the 30th till February the 2nd. Registration is open until January the 15th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.